Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just going to breathe into this moment for a couple minutes while we gather. Hello, beloved. I'm going to wave at you. 1 o'clock on the zeros here in the City of Angels. It's a beautiful rainy day where the earth is getting saturated in the water element, and the earth element is just dancing together. This new life is bubbling. Give a couple minutes and just come on in, say hello. Maybe say where you are in the world, in this global planet, this beautiful home. It's in a sort of a disruption of sorts, right? It's been a bit since I've gone live, but just listening to my own God presence within. And I recognize that there is only one presence, there's only one thing going on here, and that's the God presence within each one of us that is birthing anew, doing our best to stay centered in truth. You know, we have choices on what we do and what we speak about, what we think about. We have a choice every single moment. And so in this moment, I invite you to stick around for just a little bit and be reminded of some spiritual truth, because what I know is there's a spiritual solution to every problem we have personally, and there's a spiritual solution to every problem we face globally. And I've always known in my life destiny that in the middle of chaos, I was here to be a voice of love, of reason, of truth, of calm. And this is just part of that. And I can tell you my honesty with everything that's going on, you know, the temptation to be moved by the conditions outside of us. You know, when we watch our news feed or we watch the news and we hear about, celebrities, and we hear about National Guard coming in, and we hear the news about countries being quarantined, and while all of that is to be safe is smart, and I want to present something that was said by a dear friend of ours, Eric Overholtzer. It's been said in our circles: be mindful but not fearful. Be mindful but not fearful. And so what does it mean to be mindful? For me, in that contemplation, it really means to be full of divine mind. What is the mind? Be mindful. There's only one mind. That mind is God. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life. That life is your life. And that life is now. And what a beautiful opportunity that we have on this planet to rise up, to step up. Ernest Holmes, one of my teachers, says, to depart from truth in the moment of need is to prove that you don't know truth. And what an opportunity to stay centered in truth. And so I'd like to take this time to just invite you to join me in this now moment, to join us whenever you do watch this. It's a very simple little thing I'm going to be reading. And I did a post about it just a little bit ago, but it's one of my favorite books that has been an anchor point for me in the middle of my uncertainty, whether it be in my financial life, whether it be in any challenges I'm facing, anything. Emmet Fox, he was born in 1886 and passed from this realm in 1951. He was a New Thought leader and a writer. He was born in Ireland, but he lived most of his life in England before moving to the United States. He became interested in New Thought movement as a young man and gave his first metaphysical lecture in London in 1928. So this man, Emmet Fox, I'm going to be reading his book called The Golden Key. and one of my favorite metaphysicians. And in this world of viruses, it's good to have a good physician, a good doctor, right? And so I'm not going to be talking about the science of the body. I'm going to be talking about the science of the mind. And Emmet Fox is a metaphysician that we're going to read here. During a visit to the United States, he accepted the position of a minister in the Church of the Healing Christ in New York City. He was a divine science minister. He was very highly successful and respected in his field. Emmet Fox had a high regard for unity and its co-founder Charles Fillmore. And in 1944, he wrote this tiny little pamphlet called The Golden Key. And so, in light of everything that we are facing, I invite you to open your heart, open your mind, because we're at the point, we are at the apocalypse, right? We've heard it said, what is the apocalypse? It's the revealing, it's the uncovering of truth. And so we have so much stacked against us on this planet that might be vying for our attention, that might be vying for, are you going to buy the fear now? How about now? Oh, the NHL, the hockey league and the NBA have now closed. Concerts are closing, conventions are closing, leaders, political leaders, celebrities are getting this virus. And as I've been sharing the virus, as we all know, those of us that are aware, there's a virus of fear that's wanting to be implanted in your system, in your mental system, your emotional system. And it is done unto us as we emote, as we can, as we feel, as we believe, it is done unto us. And so, you go back to this amazing movie called The Secret, right? We understood that what we choose to think about, what we choose to emote and feel becomes our reality. And I remember seeing that a long time ago, going, whoa, we can actually create a world that works for everybody if we all understood the metaphysical principles of cause and effect. And that how we are co-creating our reality. And so my little piece of peace in this now is I love to read, and so I invite you to hear, it's only 5 simple pages. 5 simple pages of powerful, powerful truth that I give you this golden key today as you journey through your day and these days following. Emmet Fox has a foreword here. He says, I've condensed this message into 5 pages. Had it been possible, I would have condensed it into 5 lines. It's not intended to be an instructional treatise, but a practical guide for getting out of trouble. This is not woo-woo. This is not airy-fairy. This is practical. And we are requiring practical solutions. Yes, wash your hands. Yes, cover your mouth. Yes, if you're sick, don't go out. But there's something so much more powerful that we're going to go into here. Study and research are well in their own time and place, but no amount of either will get you out of a difficulty. Nothing but practical work in your own consciousness will do that. The mistake made by many people is when things go wrong is to skim through a book after book without getting anywhere. Read the Golden Key. You can find the Golden Key online. You can get a free PDF. It's easy. It's available. You can go to YouTube. There's a great woman named Heather that reads it. You have access to it. The information is there. It's free. It's available. And so you can read the Golden Key several times. He says, do exactly what it says, and if you're persistent, you will overcome any difficulty. We will overcome any difficulty. We will overcome this little bugger called the coronavirus. And I do, and we're all witnessing. Most of us are going, the corona, the crown. It's time to step into our royal divine inheritance, our royal divine nature of who and what we are. So Emmet says, scientific prayer will enable you to get yourself or anyone else out of any difficulty. It is the golden key to harmony and happiness. To those who have no acquaintance with the mightiest power in existence, this may appear to be a rash claim, but it needs only a fair trial to prove that. without a shadow of a doubt. It is just one. You need to take no one's word for it, and you should not. Just simply try it for yourself. Clinical trials. I got a video sent to me today about the clinical trials of vitamin C. Be mindful. Take a lot of vitamin C. We all know how to move through flu season. We wash our hands. We take 2,000, 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Just pop the vitamin C. Get your emergency. Get whatever you need to, boost up your immune system. But what we know is our immune system is boosted up by what we think and we feel. It's all part of it, right? So God is omnipotent. God is omnipotent, all powerful. And we are God's image and likeness and have dominion over all things. This is the inspired teaching, and it's intended to be taken literally at its face value. The inability to draw on this power is not the special prerogative of the mystic or the saint, as it's so often supposed, or even of the highly trained practitioner. You, my friend, my family member, my kin, my ohana, you have the ability right where you are, right here, right now, to call in on such a supernal power of protection, of immunity, of invincibility. You have this power. You don't have to be trained. You don't have to be a bishop. You don't have to be a licensed RScP practitioner. You don't have to have years of study to understand what Emmet is sharing here. Everyone has this ability. Whoever you are, wherever you may be, the golden key to harmony is in your hand now. This is because in scientific prayer, it is God who works and not you. And so your particular limitations or weaknesses are of no account in the process. As I like to say, what our beloved Tom Hanks, and God bless him where he is with his beloved Rita, but in his character of Forrest Gump, I may not be a smart man, but I sure know what love is. I may not be a smart man, but I sure know that God is all powerful. It's simple. It is God who works in you. You are the only channel through which the divine action takes place, and your treatment will be just the getting of yourself out of the way. Get your bloated nothingness, get the limited thinking, get the limitations, the false beliefs of who you are out of the way, and let something come through you today. Beginners often get startling results the first time, for all that is essential is to have an open mind and sufficient faith to try this experiment. Apart from that, you may hold any views on religion or none. This isn't a religious thing. This isn't a religious thing. This is a practical science. This is a practical power. As for the actual method of working, like all fundamental things, it is simplicity itself. It's simple science, family. All you have to do is this. Stop thinking about the problem. Stop thinking about the problem. Whatever the difficulty it is, think about God instead. Stop thinking about the problem and think about God instead. This is the complete rule. And if you only will do this, the trouble, whatever it is, will disappear. It makes no difference what kind of trouble it is. It may be a big thing or a little thing. It might be your taxes. It might be the coronavirus. It doesn't matter. There is no order of difficulty in miracles, the Course in Miracles says. There's no order of difficulty. Our God is a great God. Our God is a powerful God. It makes no difference what kind of trouble. It may concern health, finance, a lawsuit, a quarrel, an accident, or anything else conceivable. But whatever it is, stop thinking about it and think of God instead. That's all you have to do. It could not be simpler, could it? God could scarcely make it simpler, yet it never fails to work when given a fair trial. Now, do not try to form a picture of God. It's impossible. Work by rehearsing anything and everything you know about God. God is wisdom, truth, inconceivable love. God is present everywhere, has infinite power, knows everything, and so on. It matters not how well you may think you understand these things. Just go over them repeatedly. God is powerful. God is love. God is peace. God is harmony. God is omniscient. God is everywhere. There is no spot where God is not. God is health. God is radiant health. God is protection. God is miraculous healing. Whatever we have to do to consume our mind with the nature of the beloved presence of all that is. Call it God, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, Ra, whatever you choose to call it. It is awesome. It is powerful. That's what I want to affirm in this moment with you and I. Don't think about the problem. Consume your mind with the divine essence of all that is. But you must stop thinking about the problem. Whatever it is, the rules to think about God. If you're thinking about the difficulty, your difficulty, you're not thinking about God. To be continually glancing over your shoulder in order to see how matters are progressing is fatal. Oh gosh, what's happening? What are the stats now with the coronavirus? What's happening? Ooh. You know, I've been saying for a while, perspective, family. You know, I heard a stat, like 8,000 have died so far of just the common flu. In 2017, I saw a stat, 2.5 million people died of pneumonia. People are dying, starvation. There's people are dying of car accidents. People are dying of there's spousal abuse. There's horrific things going on the planet. Just perspective. That's all. It's just a perspective. Take a back seat and go, wait a second. Hold on a minute. If I keep looking over my shoulder because I'm afraid I'm going to get something, I've forgotten how powerful my God is. And this isn't to say don't be mindful. Don't keep your hands clean. These are just general. These are things my mom taught me. Wash your hands after you go to the restroom. If you're sick, cover your mouth. Don't put, these are common sense. When I heard President Trump yesterday talking about, Americans, please wash your hands. You're like, wow. These are elementary things. Something else going on, right? To be continually glancing over your shoulder in order to see how matters are progressing is fatal because it's thinking of the trouble. You must think of God and nothing else. Your object is to drive the thought of the difficulty out of your consciousness. For a few moments at least, substituting it for the thought of God. This isn't to bury our head in the sand and not be mindful of what's happening. This is an invitation for you in this now moment to join me as I am doing in my day today, to recognize who my God is within me, around me. Your object is not, just pause for a moment and recognize who is within you. What is within you? This is the crux of the whole thing. If you can become so absorbed in this consideration of the spiritual world that you forget for a while about the difficulty, you will find that you are safely and comfortably out of your difficulty, that your demonstration is made. In order to golden key a troublesome person or a difficult situation, think, now I'm going to golden key John or Mary or that threatened danger. We're going to golden key this little bugger. We're going to golden key the CV. We're going to golden key the virus of fear that the media, that the propaganda machine is trying to instill into your system. We're going to golden key this bitch. That's what I want to say right now, because that's what I know is within us, this golden key. Then proceed to drive all thought of John or Mary or the coronavirus or the danger out of your mind, replacing it with the thought of God. By working in this way about a person, you're not seeking to influence him or her or it, except that you prevent him from injuring or annoying you or the coronavirus to come into your field. You do him nothing but good. Therefore, he is certain to be in some degree a better, wiser, more spiritual person just because you've golden keyed him. Going back to if you're golden key a person. A pending lawsuit or another difficulty could fade out harmlessly without coming to a crisis, justice being done to all parties being concerned. I saw a post just recently, in 2008, there was a psychic, I think her name was Sylvia Brown. In 2008, it has been told that she prophesied that in 2020, a virus would come. Some kind of flu, some kind of thing would come on this planet. And it would fade just as fast as it came. And what I know is I'm giving us an opportunity to golden key this thing, that it just fades away. This too shall pass. And then we'll be left with a wake of what's going to be the next thing that we're going to be bought into fear, whether it be the fires in Australia, whether it be the war that was pending because Trump bombed, killed this terrorist, right? I mean, there's things that are going on. That the fear machine is marching its drum and really giving us an opportunity as a collective to go, do we buy into the fear? Do we march into that rhythm? Or do we go into another rhythm? We just go, no. I'm not buying what you're selling. I'm going to golden key this thing. If you find that you can do this very quickly, you may repeat the operation several times a day with intervals in between. Be sure, however, each time you've done it, you drop all the thought of the matter until the next time. This is important. We have said that the golden key is simple, and so it is. But of course, it's not always easy to turn. If you are very frightened or you're worried, at first it may be difficult to get your thoughts away from the material things. It may be hard to turn your thoughts about the fear of death, or the fear of death of loved ones, or the fear that I don't have any toilet paper. What is that about? I still don't get that. Fear of I don't have enough food, a fear I don't have, we can go to the store, we can go buy some food for a couple of weeks, but that's saying we know in 2 weeks it's done. I mean, there's no preparing fully for what you think you're fearing. The best preparation you can do is what I'm giving you today, is to golden key this situation in your own heart, right? It's not always easy to turn. But by constantly repeating a statement of absolute truth, such as, there is no power but God, I am the child of God, filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of God. God is love. God is guiding me now. God is guiding you now. Or perhaps best and simplest of all, God is with me. God is with we. God is with me. God is with we. God is me. God is we. We are the antivirus. We are the antivirus. You don't need to take a vaccination. Now, I get all the stuff. I get all the intel sent to me all the time. I'm aware of the 5G. I'm aware of different propagandas, and there's many ways to look at where this might be happening. All the conjecture, a parade of conjecture. But what I know beyond all of that is in this 2020 year of perfect vision, we are going to have disclosure. We are going to have a revealing. We are going to see clearly through the Maya, the veils of illusion. I guarantee you that. But in the middle of this chaos, reminding ourselves, God is with me. God is with you. However mechanical or trite it may seem, you will soon find that your mind is clearing. Do not struggle violently. Be quiet, but insistent. Each time you find your attention wandering, switch it back to God. Do not try to think in advance what the solution or the difficulty will be. This is called outlining and will only delay the demonstration. Leave the question of ways and means to God. You want to get out of your difficulty, that is sufficient. You do your half, and God will never fail to do God's. And so whoever's watching this, wherever you are, I just invite you and all that's going on. I mean, we can look at our feeds and we can see so many variations of information. And what I know is we're at a great moment in our human history to rise up, to know that we can heal all things. There are no diseases that are incurable. If we've bought into the belief in incurable diseases, we've bought in as a collective to a sick care system. We've bought into the belief that we only live to 85, 90 maybe. We've bought in, and we are waking up as a human species to understand that there's a great power, and I just want to presence Dr. Bruce Lipton, who's been out there, and a lot of people have seen it all over. I watched him with Michael Beckwith out in India at the yoga festival, and he was sharing how excited he was regarding all this. I'm excited. There's a breakdown happening because a breakthrough is coming, and this is the breakthrough, that we stand as one united family of God in our own emanations and demonstrations of what that looks like. We don't have to pray the same way. We don't have to dress the same way. We don't have to go to the same temple, the same mosque. We don't have to see God in the same way. But we just have to be open to knowing that God is beyond any of the defined ways that we human beings define God. But we know that God is love. We know that God is harmony. We know that God is peace. We know that God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. And when I know that there is no difficulty, there is no obstacle to this power inside me and inside we. There is no virus that can be injected into me that I can catch from anybody that I can't overcome. There's nothing that will stand in the light of love. There is nothing to stand against that. I know this is the truth. I know that love heals, love wins. I know that the divine plan of God has already been fulfilled, and that we as a collective are walking into its manifestation, its demonstration in our awareness. We are so much more than we know, and so I invite you to golden key this in your day. When you find the temptation that the fear rises up, remind yourself that God is with you, and God is you. I am that. I am. We are that. We are so powerful to stand in the truth. And may we stand in calm. It's crazy to me what's going on. It's wild. But I know this is the time. These are the days. I kept hearing Van Morrison, Mama told me there'd be days like this. Mama told me there'd be days like this. These are prophesied times. These are the prophesied times where we know that the end of the world as we know it is ending. And a new world is birthing. A world that is unified. And so let's shed our skin. Let's shed what doesn't serve us. Let's shed this idea that there is something that can get us. Let's know the truth. That we, in our dynamic, radiant God presence, however you choose to do that, envelop yourself in the tube of light. Call upon the violet flame. Call upon, be it pill, be it prayer, be it violet flame invocation, whatever it is. It's all God. Whatever that form of healing is, it's all God. And what we know is that God presence within us is so much more powerful than any virus. We were made to heal. We are healing mechanisms. We are healing, powerful beings that are still waking up to understanding that what is the healing power? The healing power is just revealing the truth of who and what we are, what I am. That's our healing power. Everything unlike that falls away with ease and grace. And so let's golden key this. I pray that this time has supported you and that if it's brought you comfort, awesome. May you stay calm, may you stay peaceful and poised in the perfection of what you are. Because what I know is this ride is going to get a little more bumpy. And we have to stand centered in our center of our God presence, our mighty I am. I choose that. I invite you to join me there. Join my beloved and I there. We're doing this daily, and we know that prayer is so important. And so this has been a spoken prayer, affirmative prayer, the science, the divine science of prayer. Greg Braden wrote a great book that I love called The Lost Mode of Prayer. You know, we're not supplicating to a God outside of us. I know that right where you are, the supernal power of God is. Right where you are, perfect health is. Right where you are, the antivirus is within you. It's in your system already. You were designed. And catching a cold, getting a flu is not a bad thing. It's actually your body working perfectly. Bacteria in the body is not a bad thing. They sweep the body. You know, we can't catch anything. We can only create it by our own consciousness. And may your consciousness today be cleared. And if you need a little help clearing your consciousness of any fear, I've just given you a golden key to a closet of cleaning materials. That you can clean it and make it the golden light of truth, the golden wisdom. I send you great love. I send you great peace. And as Deepak Chopra invited us in a meditation this week, you know, what we all want is peace and harmony and love and joy. I speak this, I share this in the greatest love within my heart and core being of who and what I am. And what I am is God, is the messenger of love. An angel. That's what we are, right? And this is just, I'm not looking for anything in return, but just to inspire, to activate, to elevate something within you so that you stand centered in your God self. And that you can be an influencer of those around you. And let's choose to not look over our shoulder at what may come, but look within and see what's already there within you, asking for you to spend some presence with it right now. And you don't have to be a smart person. You don't have to be a learned person. You don't have to have had education in religion and spirituality. You have the power within you to create such a sense of calm and peace and power. Remember who you are. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Peace, love, aloha.